What is up, guys? Excuse me. It is the sports nerd Bradley Walker, and welcome to a special edition of the Sunshine State Sports Jabber, part of NGSC Sports. Guys, please remember the website. It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. And guys, we are sponsored by ArenaEats.app of Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express delivery, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? Guys, welcome in. I hope everyone had a great Independence Day yesterday. Happy 4th to everyone out there. Thanks again to the men and women of our armed services throughout the years, helping us so that we could celebrate our 4th of July yesterday. Hopefully, everyone had an awesome time yesterday. Um, but yes, I guess hopefully everyone had a good Independence Day. I would have done this show yesterday, guys, but then again, I didn't think there would be a lot of people on here yesterday. So that's why I prolonged it today. Um, Yours truly will be at Amalie Arena tonight watching game 4 from inside the arena. I'm looking forward to that. That should be a good experience. I can say that I've never been inside the arena. I wasn't there in '04. I was at a wing house on Palmerston Road here locally. And when we won the cup last year, I was actually doing my Thursday show, or maybe this show on a Friday night. And I was watching with my buddy Jordan, watching TV and reacting to the game on here. But then again, I will be in there tonight with my friend Jennifer, and her friend Nick and his family will all be there as well. So thank you guys for the opportunity to allow me to join you guys this evening. I'm probably going to end, guys, um, with the Lightning, being that they have a game tonight. So we'll end the show with them. Usually I end the show with college football, but I think I'm going to end the show with them. But here's a logo that you guys have never seen before, and I would like to introduce this franchise to the Sunshine State Sports Jabber, and that would be the Tampa Bay Inferno. This is a women's tackling football team. So here are we go. Let me give you guys their starting roster and stuff like that. Let me bring that up here real quick. Um, Let me bring that up real quick, and we will. I'll give you kind of the names of it. I've also heard, guys, real quick too, that roller derby will be back soon. I have gotten news of that, so roller derby will be back soon. I might be doing roller derby uh, stuff like that coming up here in the near future. I'm looking forward to that if it does end up happening to be. Um, it does happen to be like that. I would like to go back. I was told, guys, that if they did come back, if roller derby did come back, I would be their play-by-play guy. So if that happens, I will let you guys know exactly when that date is going to happen and let you guys know. But here is the Tampa Bay Inferno, the unbeaten women's tackle football team. Um, so here we are here. Madame Moody, now her team is just a few short drives from beating the Jacksonville Dixie Blues 58-14 to cap off a 6-0 regular season. Jen Moody, by day, the 47-year-old works as a director of administration at Tampa Metropolitan YMCA, but for 3 nights a week, every April through July, she storms the field as the owner of the Tampa Bay professional women's tackle football team, the Inferno. Interest football is on the rise nationwide, and last year or so, the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletes added women's flag football as a sport. So the team pays for facility rental fees. They looks like home games at Sickles High School on Saturday drew between 350 and 500 fans. The team pays for its own rental fees, travel costs, and uniforms in tune of between 50,000 to 75,000 a year, almost entirely out of their own pockets. Off the field, these athletes study game film and the playbook while also juggling full-time jobs, school, and family obligations. Among them are lawyers, physical therapists, teachers, and first responders brought together by their love of the game. The pressure that comes with their grateful balancing act have molded their electric roster into a family. I have played sports my entire life in the community that this group has almost like surreal of the Women's Football Alliance. So, guys, this actually is, and there's a picture of Jen Moody here. Um, I'm gonna have to now go out since it's gonna be now. It's gonna be ending here. And actually, it looks like it says here, Women's Football Alliance Conference Semifinal, Tampa Bay Inferno at DC Divas, 6 p.m. Saturday. To buy a $5 ticket to the Inferno fundraiser, which includes an autographed Shaq Barrett football, email Tampa Bay Inferno at gmail.com or click here to sponsor the team. Um, Guys, I think I might just do that. If I can get a Shaq Barrett ball, I'll donate $5. Yeah, baby. I mean, I'll do that right now while I'm here on the air. Hang on just a second. I'm going to do this while I'm on the air. Let me see what I have to do here. But that would be pretty cool if I can get a Shaq Barrett. And, you know, to give them $5 for their team also to the Inferno. That's pretty damn cool. So we're going to go ahead and do this real quick. I'm going to see what they see if they'll send me a link or something that I have to make the donation to. Let me see here real quick, guys. That's pretty awesome. Actually, I'm glad I read down to the end of the article to find out what is going on. But that's pretty cool. Again, guys, like I said, I know this is not usually the day that I do this. I am usually working on Mondays. I am off today because of the holiday yesterday. So that's why I'm doing my show today instead of it'll be next Friday. It'll be back on its normal time. In fact, guys, I will be doing double duty next Friday. I will be filming a Legacy Battle episode with Mike and his crew from 8 to 9, and then this show will be on its regular time from 9 to 10. So I'll be doing double duty, double dipping next week on Friday, and then the Walker Report will be there on Thursday at its normal time. We'll be back, and we got good news that my co-host Louis Tenure is not leaving the show. There was talks in the back that he might be leaving. Um, So he is not leaving, guys. All right, guys. So that is going to be that. I might end up now that I know that their season starts in April. I'm going to go ahead and keep their photo in here, and I'm going to start looking that up. Maybe I'll attend a game next season. That's a definite to go watch a game. I think that would be pretty damn cool. But that is, I saw that. I said, hey, I'm going to bring that team on here. And so, welcome to the Sunshine State Sports Jabber, the Tampa Bay Inferno. All right, guys. So let me go ahead now, and I'm going to jump to the soccer talk. I'll start with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and this is I'm planning on probably going, guys, to a Rowdies game probably late in July. I think I'm going to aim for July 24th to go to a game. I really, really would like to go see a game live. And now that tickets are available, I'm going to go ahead and go do that. But let me go ahead and give you some Rowdies news real quick. They played, I think, I want to say on this past Saturday, I think is when they played. And yes, it was. Let me see exactly here. They beat Charleston Battery 1-0. just this past Friday. They have a game. They have a game. They won 1-0 full time. Guys, the Rowdies had 14 shots on goal to Charleston's 4. They were on target. 7 shots were on target, 0 for Charleston. They possessed the ball 58% to Charleston's 42%. They had 580 passes to 424. Their pass accuracy was 86% to 83%. The Rowdies only committed 5 fouls to the 14 committed by Charleston. 1 yellow card for the Rowdies, 3 for the Battery. There were no red cards for either side. There were 4 offsides for the Rowdies, 3 for Charleston, and they had 4 corner kicks for the Rowdies and 2 for the Battery. The lone goal at the 68th minute was by Sebastian Guzasti, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and they won 1-0 in that so they're up 1-0. Let me go ahead, guys, and I'm gonna quickly bring up the USL standings. The USL standings real quick to see where exactly the Rowdies currently stand. The last time I checked, they were sitting pretty good. They were on top of the division by some points. So I was wondering how that worked out. Guys, in the Eastern Conference Atlantic, the Rowdies have played 10 matches. They are 8-0-2. They've scored 16, only allowed 6 goals. So that's a +10 in the goal differential. They have 24 points. They're up by 4 points over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, 8 over the Hartford Athletic, 15 over Charlotte Independent, 14 over Miami FC. They are 13 ahead of Charleston. They are 15 ahead of the New York Red Bulls 2, and they are 18 ahead of London United. So that is who they have now. They have a game, guys, coming up this Wednesday. This Wednesday against Miami FC at home. It's a 7:30 kick on Wednesday night. The game that I wanted to go to, guys, I believe is on. Actually, it looks like it's the 31st against Charlotte Independent. Actually, it's a 7 p.m. kick. I'm going to try to either go to that game or the August 6th game against the New York Red Bulls, too. So I'm going to go to one of those 2 games in the future as the Rowdies are at home at Al Lang Stadium. Sebastian Guzasti makes a milestone more memorable. Let me read that to you guys real quick. This is from the Tampa Bay Times. Obviously, good newspaper, guys, locally. If you guys are watching this outside the state of Florida, the Tampa Bay Times is the local newspaper for all Tampa Bay sports. In his one of the appearance with the Rowdies, Captain Sebastian Guzasti hammered home a penalty kick in the 68th minute. And Tampa Bay defeated Charleston 1-0 before an announced 4,429 at Al Lang Stadium on Friday night. The league-leading Rowdies controlled play throughout against a Charleston side that seemed content to come away with a scoreless draw. But sub Jordan Abano-Smith helped spoil those plans 10 minutes after he entered, charging into the penalty box and drawing a foul from Leland Archer. Guzasti, 8th goal of the year and 4th from the penalty spot, was a no-doubter inside the right post. So again, guys, the Rowdies are, again, one of the top league. If you guys do remember this, they were going to be in the USL Championship game last year, but because they had COVID issues at the end of the year, it ended up costing them an opportunity to play against Phoenix, who they defeated earlier this year, by the way. They beat Phoenix earlier this year. So, kudos to them. I'm going to try to go, guys, either to the 31st or August, or the first game in August. I did make a post on my Facebook page about it. If I'll go ahead and set up some kind of game chat or anything like that. If anybody wants to go, I will get tickets before I decide to go, and then I'll find out who wants to go. Because I definitely want to do that, guys. I would love to go to see a game live. The next team I'll talk about this is Major League Soccer, and this is Inter Miami. this is a team that should be um, let's see what I have here, guys, for Inter Miami. This is from the Miami Herald, which is a local newspaper in Miami. So there is that right there. So there's a local newspaper there. Let me go ahead real quick, guys, and uh, pull that up real quick here. Like I said, guys, I'm not usually doing my shows in the morning. I don't usually do this very often, but if I ever do decide to make a living out of this, I may end up doing my shows in the morning rather than in the evening. Guys, they had a game on Saturday against Montreal and lost 1-0. Inter Miami lost 1-0 in that game. Um, so they again the few times that I've talked about them on here, um, it's been rather difficult. Um, it's been very different, for them. They are owned by Beckham, and they were fined, the biggest amount of money you could be fined by the MLS. Um, they've hit a 5-game skid as of late. Their head coach is, of course, not happy with the five game. They haven't won in 5 games. Um, so they are owned. They're coached by Phil Neville. They are owned by Beckham himself, but they have not had the greatest of years so far through this. Um, Again, he calls it unacceptable. Phil Neville calls it unacceptable with this since they've lost their last 5 in a row. Um, their last win came. Their last win came back on May 16th against Cincinnati when they won 3-2. They've lost to Chicago, DC United twice, Orlando City, and Montreal. They have a game this Saturday against the New York Red Bulls at 7 p.m., but it is not looking too well for Inter Miami. And I mean, it could be the players, it could be ownership. A lot of people are pointing the finger at Beckham as him not being the greatest of owners and stuff like that. So that's going to be the interesting part of how that goes. But that it's not too well right now sitting in Miami. Let me go ahead and bring up where they stand. Inter Miami is actually their goal differential. They've only scored 9 goals, given up 17, so they're a -8 in the goal differential. They've played 11 matches. They are at 2 wins, 2 draws, 7 losses. And then, like I said, they have 8 points. They are currently 16 behind the New England Revolution and 13 behind second place Orlando City, who I'm going to be talking about next. So they are in the bowels of the division right now. The only team that is below them is Toronto, who's also played 11 matches, 1 win, 2 draws, 8 losses. They have 13 goals. They've allowed 27 and -14 goal differential, and they have 5 points. But Toronto is the only team that is below Inter Miami right now within the Eastern Conference of the MLS. So Inter Miami's 13th. The only 7 teams make it to the playoffs right now. Orlando City would be one of those teams that would make the postseason. So let me go ahead, guys. We'll go ahead and talk about Orlando City, and we'll bring them up. The lion logo will be coming up behind me right now. That is their logo. Here are 5 takeaways, guys, from their game with the New York Red Bulls. Here are 5 things from their win. Oh, I think it was their win. Let me see what we learned. Oh, I'm sorry, their second loss of the season. My fault. So it's only their second defeat. They did get off to a slow start, which doomed them. Now, remember, I told you a long time ago, this team depends a lot on their defense. So, again, when you get off to a slow start, that doesn't really, make your thing. Orlando City started slowly to begin the match and also to start the second half. And the Lions' previous match against the Red Bulls wasn't able to deal with the Red Bulls' press. The Lions dealt with it better overall in this match, but it still caused plenty of turnovers, which we all know can spell doom in any sport. Antonio Carlos is important. In the 14-minute, Carlos had to come out of the match due to an injury. Losing a player of Carlos' quality earlier devastated the team, but unfortunately for Orlando City, Ricardo Chacal had rejoined the team after being away following the death of his father. They missed some opportunities. Obviously, the Lions had 55% of the position with 13 shots and 6 on target. So again, you have opportunities. They have fullback concerns and Cash making it rain. Really, Cash Moore made it rain with his goal in the 59 minutes to even the score at the point. It was a beautiful play, starting with Daryl Dyke stealing the ball from Sean Nevis and dropping it off to Para, who smartly sent it wide to the Money Badger for the goal. So there you go with that, guys. It came down to that. So again, those are 5 things that you can take away from just their second loss of the season for the Lions. So that's kind of disappointing. But again, you can't win them all, as we all know. We all know that you can't win them all. So you gotta take if you learn something from a loss, take that into your next game, and that's what you got to do. Orlando City is off to the best 10-game start in club history. With 21 points in the bag and the best points per game in the Eastern Conference, the Lions have done this despite several key absences through injuries, suspensions, and international duty. So think about that, guys. This team is off to the best start in club history. So that's pretty awesome. And I'm sure damn happy that I'm covering them on my podcast when this is all going on. So I would have, again, guys, if you do, I live in the Tampa Bay area. So the Orlando club, the Orlando City and Orlando Pride are about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hour drive from me, not very far away. Maybe in the future, I might end up going up to see a soccer game in Orlando and watch the Lions. I'm definitely going to go see the Rowdies because they're more local, but I definitely will go and maybe go catch a game with the Lions and the Pride as well. But again, guys, they're off to the best start in club history. So congratulations so far to the Lions, only suffering their second loss just yesterday or the other day. So congratulations to them. So the next team, guys, I have is the ladies team that calls Orlando home, and that is the Pride. They'll be behind me right here. They are the ladies team that plays in. I believe they took a loss yesterday to North Carolina. Let me see exactly what happened here. I believe, guys, they did end up losing yesterday. Let me see real quick. Yes, they lost. Let me see here. Where is? Why am I in Orlando City's? Hang on a second, guys. Let me pull up Orlando Pride. I'm in Orlando City schedule. So let me see. Let me see their schedule real quick and see if they did win or lose yesterday, because I know they were playing North Carolina yesterday. I'm sorry, they were playing Washington. No, let's see. Their last game was July 4th. Hang on a minute, guys. Let me go in here really quick and find out Orlando. I'm going to do Orlando Pride here because I want to see. guys, they did lose 2-0 yesterday to North Carolina. Okay. They lost 2-0 to the Courage yesterday um, on the 4th of July. They have 4 players, guys, that are heading to the Olympics, which start in a week. Today's 18 days away. So they they definitely are there. And did lose 2-0. Did sign international player Amy Turner to their roster. That'll be a good boost for them moving forward. Again, the Orlando Pride guys is part of the Professional Women's Soccer League based in Orlando, Florida. So again, guys, they are the Pride. It will be right now, guys. They played 9 matches. They are 4-3-2. They've scored 12, allowed 10. So they're +2 in the goal differential. They are 1 point behind North Carolina, who they played yesterday, and Portland Thorns are tied with them at 15 points. So right now they are in second place, only behind by 1 point. Now they have lost. Um, they have lost in their last 5 games. They are 1-2. Looks like it's let's see here how they have this broken down. They had 1 win, guys, in their last 5 matches, so that's not very good so far. So North Carolina, the team that's in front of them, has gone 4 wins in their last 5. So that's interesting to say the least. But that is the soccer news on the Sunshine State Sports Jabber this week. And like I said, guys, I will cover that. That was brought to me by my co-host, Louis Tenure, that there was soccer here. I didn't really realize that, but there was soccer here. So, all right, guys, I'm going to jump to the diamond, and MLB baseball is about midway through the season as we cross 4th of July yesterday. If you did notice that all of the teams were wearing their logo, and then their logo on the front of the hat was in red, white, blue, other than one team, and that's the Toronto Blue Jays, who wear the Canadian colors on their hat because they are the only Canadian baseball franchise in Major League Baseball. And they were here, guys, at one time playing baseball. I covered the Blue Jays on this show for a little while they were here in Dunedin playing their ball. The Miami Marlins did make a deal with the Tampa Bay Rays, acquiring right-handed pitcher David Hess. They made their second trade of the month Saturday as they added potential depth piece to their system. After making arguably the first major trade of 2001 earlier this week, sending outfielder Corey Dickerson and right-handed pitcher Aaron Kramer to Toronto, the Marlins are at it again. As mentioned previously, this move obviously didn't garner the same amount of attention as the previous one, but it does provide an impact moving forward. Hess is a 27-year-old right-hander from Pembroke Pines, Florida, during a 5th overall pick out of Tennessee Tech by the Baltimore Orioles in the 2014 MLB draft. He had reached the big leagues of Baltimore in 2018. He's appeared in 47 games, 33 starts between 2018 and 2020, posting a combined 5.86 ERA with 69 walks and 143 strikeouts. After being granted free agency back in November, Hess signed with the Rays in December, where he has been pitching down in AAA with the Durham Bulls so far this season across 13 appearances, 11 as reliever. Hess has posted a 5-1 record with a 2.81 ERA across 32 innings and 5 walks, 37 strikeouts. So again, guys, this definitely will boost the Miami Marlins pitching depth as well. So again, it's, like everything else, this team seems to be building the future. It may not be this year, but they are building into the future. In fact, I did find this on Sports Illustrated's website. Miami's young horses offer a brighter future for the flailing fish. The Marlins are languishing in the bottom of the NL East despite posting a powerful trio of starters that could soon bring them back to the World Series. And again, I know we're sitting here talking about that now, and sometimes, guys, what ends up happening is you get a young team like you have now. Guess what happens? They turn it around, they get it right, and that's what goes down. And there's nothing wrong with that, or nothing going on with that, stuff like that. So once again, the future looks bright for Miami. As I said that last year or this year, earlier this year, that I felt that maybe this team, um, was on the verge of being good again. This team has won the World Series twice, guys, and both times they've blown the team up the following year. So let's hope they don't do that. If they win in the future, let's hope that they don't do that again. But so far, it looks like the three, they're building for the future, and that's what Derek Jeter and the ownership is trying to do. Their general manager Sandra O is also again continuing to build for the future, and that is pretty damn awesome that they're doing that for the future. The next team, guys, I cover will be the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's a team that did break out of their slump yesterday. They did end up beating the Blue Jays yesterday and got out of their 5-game losing streak. They do sit 4.5 games out of first place behind the Boston Red Sox in the AL East currently. They have had 2 straight blowouts before yesterday's game against the Blue Jays. I think it was 15-5 on Friday, and they lost 11-1 on Saturday, but then won yesterday. They had to use Brett Phillips as a pitching because they didn't, again, when you're getting blown out, you start your position players to pitch. We've all seen every team have to go through that. Unfortunately, it sucks, but we've seen a lot of teams go through that. But again, guys, this team is way too damn good to be where they're at right now. I, of course, was at the Rays Red Sox game a couple weeks ago on Tuesday, and I got to see Wander Franco's major league debut. He is a stud in the making. Let me just tell you that. Be scared, the rest of the Major League Baseball, because the kid is a real deal. He can play defense and he can hit. He's a very smart hitter. I know pitchers will pick up on that of how to get him out as they do, because when you get film on somebody, they figure out where to throw the ball and keep it away from him. But for the most part, we just look out in the future for him. This Rays team isn't going to go away, guys. I mean, I know they don't have a lot of money as far as payroll, but they have a lot of good players. They have it going the right way, and maybe, just maybe, if they can get Tyra Glasnow back, you won't have to have Tommy John surgery down the stretch. That'll definitely help this team out as well. We'll have to wait and see how that all goes down. But right now, that is what it is. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I mean, here's how that goes, guys. Plain and simple. But anyway, guys, let me go ahead and do that. Again, my Sunshine State Sports Wrapper is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website, arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? All right, guys, let me go ahead now, and I'm going to go ahead, guys, now and go to pro football. I'm going to go ahead and go to pro football. I'll start with the Jacksonville Jaguars, the boys in Duval County. But let me scan up here real quick. Oh, excuse me, guys. Let me see this. Let me. Let's see here. But anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and start with that. So now, as far as Jacksonville, obviously the big news, obviously, would be Tim Tebow. Urban Meyer wants to make sure that he does make like the roster and stuff like that. We'll have to wait and see what is going to happen with that. Again, that's one of the biggest questions too, because will he make this roster? That's going to be the interesting part. Is will he make the roster? Also, guys, Shaquille Griffith, who, if you guys know who he signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he is happy with how the coaches have implemented him into their play. Um, that is something, guys, that has been pretty cool to see him, how he's developed over the years with Seattle. And now he is back near home, because again, going to UCF, he is back home, very close there, being in Jacksonville, not far from Orlando. So that will be interesting to see how he does that. Um, a lot of people out there are saying that Urban Meyer is a huge mistake, that it's the worst that Jacksonville has ever done. This, again, is coming from opinions from outside people. It's going to be interesting to see how it all works out for Urban Meyer. I think we all kind of questioned the hire when it happened back when they hired him. Um, it to me, guys, it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least on how we're going to do that. But again, guys, like I said, if it comes down to it, um, to me, it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least. But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Also, guys, we'll see how Trevor Lawrence does as a rookie quarterback. Expectations, I'm guessing, guys, will be very, very high for him. He's the number one overall pick. I would suggest that it definitely would be, very, very high for Trevor Lawrence this year. I think, like I said, I have an article that I have yet to be able to post. iRock Media is currently down. The website's currently down, but I do have an article that I wrote about the Jaguars that I was going to post up there as soon as I'll let you guys know when I'm able to post it. But yeah, so that's that. So that's that there. But that's my Jaguar news, guys, for you. Um, that's my Jaguars news for you there. I'm gonna go ahead, guys, and go to Miami. The Miami Dolphins, of course, just like the Jaguars, are now. Jacksonville only won one game last year, where Miami won 10 games a year ago and almost made it to the playoffs. Of course, they lost in Week 17 to division rival Buffalo. I know I've repeated that many times on this show in the past, but they did lose to the Bills. Um, some issues coming into camp obviously will be the wide receiver salary cap situation. Again, guys, that's going to have to be kind of all foiled out over that time. But for the most part, I could see them getting through that very, very quickly. I mean, unless they're having cap issues, but they had a lot of money. They've a lot of money, a lot of draft picks. So I can't see um, why that would be an issue. Um, and also, guys, the question is, when will we see the Dolphins on Hard Knocks again? Guys, they usually do not put a winning team on Hard Knocks. Usually they put a losing team on Hard Knocks, a team that doesn't make the playoffs. So I don't know if that'll be the truth. We'll have to see. It depends on how the season goes this year with Tua. Again, there hasn't been any Deshaun Watson talk in a long time. I think maybe that's kind of cooled down a little bit as we get closer to the season starting. But for the most part, I mean, it all comes down to that, dude. I mean, seriously, it all comes down to the fact that the Dolphins, I don't think are going to be on Hard Knocks for a while. They're a good football team. So again, we'll have to wait and see, but I highly doubt we'll see them on there anytime soon. Hey guys, I'm going to jump now to the last NFL team I cover, and that is the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me go ahead and give you guys the three rookies who have made it the furthest, three rookies furthest away from starting in Tampa. So these are three rookies that probably will not make the roster, or as we say. So let's take a look at the three. This is from Fansided, thepewterplank.com, if you're wondering where I got the article from. I give credit to all the websites that I talk to you on, or that I use on here, because I want to give them the credit. This is not me. This is not my articles. These are articles that is. The first one, guys, is Robert Hansley. He's an offensive lineman So he is, again, it's going to be hard to break that offensive line anyway with Ryan Jensen, Ali Marpet, Tristan Wirfs. Kyle Trask is one of the guys. He's number 2. Kyle Trask may prove to be one of the most exciting preseason quarterbacks for the Buccaneers ever, but there's almost no chance that he earns a start anytime soon. Obviously, we know that. We knew when they drafted him that there was no way he was going to be that. Trask is currently the third string quarterback behind Brady and Blaine Gabbert. The front office and coaching staff inexplicably love Gabbert and see him as a potential suitor to the throne after Brady, but most are hoping that they will decide to go a different direction. So again, guys, we all know that. That's not a surprise. I don't even know why they even mentioned that. And the Buccaneers in a special team star, Grant Stewart, is the linebacker. So again, a lot of coaches out in the NFL do harp and rant on their special teams. So that would be that moving forward. Well, guys, that is my NFL talk. Again, we'll go ahead and through as I always do. But I normally would be talking about the Lightning, but I'm going to leave them guys until the end of the show. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about college football. And I'm going to start with the boys in Miami, down in Coral Gables, where where the Miami Hurricanes currently play. So far, Manny Diaz has done a pretty great job at recruiting, getting future recruits in here. And he has taken a lot of that from Florida State, which again is his division rival in the ACC. That is pretty cool that he again continues to win when it comes to the ACC teams, he's winning the recruiting battle in the state of Florida. Also, 2 guys, D'Eriq King and Mackenzie Milton. Now, D'Eriq King is the starting quarterback for Miami. Mackenzie Milton will probably be the starting quarterback or one of them for Florida State this year. Have teamed up to form a company to facilitate endorsement deals. Again, guys, if you did not hear, as of the other day, the NCAA is going to start paying their athletes. And this is what they can do. They can now go out and get endorsement deals for that happening. So that is definitely definitely something we'll have to look forward to seeing in the future. But that is that. And then I'll go ahead, guys, and jump to the team in Tallahassee, and that is the Florida State Seminoles. Again, just like I mentioned, Mackenzie Milton did team up to try to make some money for his likeness in the ACC, so he's very, very excited about that. And again, there have been recruiting talks again with Coach Norvell as he again continues to try to get the Noles back on track. They had a rough year last year. To get them back on track in 2021, I can see this team should be pretty far broken down. They should be back to their normal selves this year coming up. If not this year, then next year when Norvell has 2 years under his belt and is able to get the recruits in here that he would like to get in here to get his team started going, because he did a hell of a job with Memphis as well. Next up, guys, the boys in Gainesville, and that is the Florida Gators, guys. Again, there's not really a lot of news with the football team. That's why I'm kind of going through these really quickly. With here, obviously Florida has a major haul on offense, losing Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts and a lot of the wide receivers. So that's going to be interesting this year. I'm hoping, guys, to see them at Raymond James Stadium on Saturday, September 11th. Wow, it's just a couple months away, and we'll have college football back. Wow, how exciting is that, man? That's so cool that college football is coming. I think I saw something that Florida State has 68 days before they kick off. So again, we're not far away from having college football back on Saturdays. I can't wait to get up on Saturday mornings and watch College Game Day. Maybe I'll go work out in the gym and watch College Game Day on my phone on ESPN. That'll be pretty damn cool to be able to do that. But again, just like with all the other college teams, the Florida Gator players are also getting name, image, and profit to go ahead and get their money for their team. So that is that. But at the end of the day, guys, it comes down to that. It comes down to what's going on. And again, like I said, there's not really much. We get closer, obviously, I'll have more. I'll do season previews, guys, for all 5 of the teams I cover on here, and kind of give you my opinion on what I believe how their seasons will go. Again, I've been wrong a bunch of times, guys. I'm not a thing that, but UCF, basically them guys. It comes down to the fact that they have to. The running game is going to be very important. Now with a new head coach, it's going to be very, very interesting. This team will not have that fast-paced offense like they're used to seeing. Under Josh Heupel, who is now in Tennessee. It's going to be different. It'll be a different kind of a team, different kind of attack on that. So UCF, will have to depend on their running game. Coach Malzahn definitely will have a new offense implemented, but he believes that this team can go very, very far. So it is what it is, man. So we'll have to sit back and wait and see if they win the AAC or if it's Cincinnati again. Or maybe this team right here may make a surprise splash, and that is the USF Bulls. They have announced that they are returning their Bulls kickoff luncheon that will happen. So that's outstanding for all the Bulls fans out there that want to go for the kickoff. Also, too, Michael Kelly came out, guys, and said that he is happy that the college football that they're expanding the playoffs because that gives him an opportunity to be there. That's pretty cool. I would have to say, I admit that's pretty cool that he's able to do that. And then again, guys, I'm hoping that they don't stick all the Power 5 conferences in those spots. They do leave some at-large bids for teams like UCF, Cincinnati, maybe USF in the future. But I mean, it's teams like that because it comes down to it. It's not really fair to stick all of these teams, in that facility. It's not fair to the smaller teams, obviously. But we're hoping maybe with the expansion that goes on. But there's my college football talk, guys, for this week. Again, guys, this show will be back on its normal time next Friday, right after I get done with Legacy Battle. I'm going on Legacy Battle from 8 to 9, and then 9 o'clock from 10. I'll be back on this show on its normal time next week. Well, as I said, guys, I would leave the team that possibly could win its 3rd Stanley Cup in franchise history and back-to-back, being the first team since the Penguins to do back-to-back Stanley Cups, and this would be the first time that a sweep has happened since the 1997 Detroit Red Wings. Andre Vasilevsky, guys, continues to build a resume comparable to the greats in hockey. I would agree with that. Guys, he did not win the Vezina Trophy this year. That went to Marc-Andre Fleury. So it's imperative, guys, if you guys have not seen, the only game that the Lightning played, I would say poorly, was game 3. Or not game 3, excuse me, game 2. They didn't get off to too good of a start, but were able to find a way to win in the end. That was definitely the way, find a way to win in the end. But at the end of the day, it was definitely great to see them. They're up 3-0. They won Friday night, and now yours truly will be inside Amalie Arena this evening, sitting inside the stadium, hoping to see them lift the cup in Montreal tonight. But it's another thing. Victor Hedman has an NHL records goal for the year. Again, we were talking earlier about possibly the sweep and stuff like that. Again, that could happen tonight. If it does, it will be the first sweep since the Red Wings in 1997. But again, guys, there has been news that just came out just locally that Mayor Jane Castor of Tampa wants Montreal to win tonight to force a Game 5 to have the Cup won here on Wednesday night. She would rather see the team come back here on Wednesday night on home ice and win the game compared to it being won in Montreal away from ice. Because remember, guys, last year in the bubble, they were not here. They were on the road in Canada when they won it last year in Edmonton. So she wants to see them come home and win the cup here. So that's interesting to say the least. I'd have to disagree. I think John Cooper said earlier that he wants to win the cup and win it now and not give Montreal a blink of a chance of an opportunity to come back. I would agree with that. I totally agree with that. I don't think you want to have your team, have to go through another game and stuff like that. So I'm hoping, guys, that I'm in the arena tonight watching the game, and I hope that they are able to. I'll be watching the game on the Jumbotron, by the way, guys. Again, I'm not flying to Montreal. I don't have some streamlined jet that I'm flying to the Bell Center tonight to watch the game. I will be at Amalie Arena tonight with some friends watching the game. So, again, I think the opportunity for letting me go with them this evening. So, guys, like I said, that is my Sunshine State Sports Jabber for the week. Sorry, guys, if it went kind of fast there toward the end. There's not really a lot of news going on with college football and stuff like that. But the Sunshine State Sports Jabber, again, guys, is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order, guys? And the Sunshine State Sports Jabber is part of NGSC Sports and airing live on Coast to Coast Network. Thank you guys for, if anyone stopped in here, I'm probably surprised. I'll be probably very low on views. I don't think too many people on their day off today stopped in here to see this. But if you did, thank you very much. I appreciate it. This show, guys, will be back in its normal time frame this Friday coming up. Just 4 days away after I do another Legacy Battle podcast. I will be back on the air again from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Friday coming up. But until then, guys, everyone, be safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy this extra day off if you're working. Sorry that you're working today, but thank you for doing what you do. And like I always do before I leave, thank you to the men and women of our armed services, both active, retired, and the ones who have left us. Thank you for your sacrifice. I also want to thank the first responders, doctors and nurses, who were the true heroes of the pandemic last year and are still fighting today with it as well. Also, guys, to the police officers, firefighters, and paramedics, thank you guys for keeping us safe domestically. And like I always say, guys, thank you again for stopping in here. Guys, I do have a YouTube channel called The Sportster Bradley Walker. This show will be on there in its entirety. Please go over there, like, share, and subscribe. We love to build our audience over there as well. Everyone, please enjoy the rest of their Monday as we head into the noon hour here locally here in Florida. Everyone else out there, stay safe, be cool, and until this Friday, the Sports Nerd. Peace.